Year three, welcome to another fantastic week of learning. We're still continuing our work on fractions. I hope you had a very lovely and restful weekend. Thanks for sending your work in. Please do keep sending it in. I love having a look at what you're doing at home. I'm thoroughly impressed with your work. So let's get on with that lesson. So let's minimize my face. Goodbye, Mrs. Riot. And let's make a start. So today's date is the 6th of July 2020, and the NIE is to order unit fractions. And you'll need a pencil, a ruler, and a piece of paper for today's lesson. Okay, so the number talk is, firstly, step one is to calculate 1/8 of 64. And once you've calculated that, how can you use the above fact to calculate 5/8 of 64? So see if you can work that out. Pause the video, have a go. So 1/8 of 64, if you think about that in terms of fractions, what that's asking you to do is to split 64 into 8 parts. Splitting 64 into 8 equal parts is the same as 64 divided by 8, which is equal to 8, because 8 times 8 equals 64. So if you know that 1/8 of 64 is 8, how would you work out what 5/8 of 64 would be? So if you know that 1 part is equal to 8, 5 parts would be 8 times 5, and that is equal to 40. So 1/8 of 64 is 8, and 5/8 of 64 is 40. If you found that quite tricky, don't worry, because we're doing some more work on this later on in the week. Let's get started. So key vocabulary is denominator, numerator, fraction, a whole, order, and order again, because we're ordering fractions today. Now, all of these words you would have come across before in our lessons, and if you cannot remember what certain things mean, don't worry, we'll be covering them as the week goes on. So before we start learning about how to order unit fractions using fraction strips and the bar model, think about these two questions. What does it mean to order fractions, and what are unit fractions? Have a little think about that first. So when I talk about ordering fractions, what I mean is ordering them from the smallest to the largest, and the largest to the smallest, just putting it in order in the correct position they should be in. And unit fractions, as we know, are the numerator is 1. So any fraction that has a numerator which is 1 is a unit fraction. And we've looked at this before as well. So this is a fraction wall. And the reason I am referring you to it is because we used this a lot last week, and we'll be using it again this week. So if you still have the copy from last week, great, you can use it. If not, you can go to last week's resources and print it off for yourself. Okay, so next page. So here we have some fractions. These are fraction strips up here. So what is the same? What is different? And can you try for me to order these fractions from the smallest to the largest? So as you can see, what is the same? The same thing is that each of them have a white part. Each strip has a white part, and the white part shows you the fraction that they want you to think about. And the rest of the fraction, as you can see, is blocked out. So can you order them from biggest to largest? And how would you do that? Well, as you can see, the strips are of equal size. And if you're ordering it from smallest to largest, then the strip that would go at the top would be the one with the shortest white part. The shortest white part is half. That needs to go at the top. What are you doing, Mrs. Riot? Trying to step them all to move them down. Okay, so half would go at the top. Oops, daisy. The next strip would be, fraction would be 2/3. That's slightly bigger than a half, but less than 4/5. Then it'd be 4/5, because 4/5 is bigger than 2/3, but smaller than 5/6, and last would be 5/6. So here you can see we have now put these strips in order of from smallest to largest. And what we notice really is, as we go down the line, the white part's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Good job. Now, can you order these fractions from largest to smallest, the biggest fraction to the smallest fraction. Pause the video and have a go. So you will see that 8/9 goes there, followed by 6/7. What we left? We have 1/2 and 3/4. So 3/4 goes there, and 1/2 goes there. So here we're ordering from the largest to the smallest, and as you can see with the fraction strips, the white part, the fraction, the size of it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. Good job. Now here we go. Now can you order these fractions from smallest to the largest? Have a go. So I think you agree that 1/2 is the smallest, followed by 2/3, followed by 2, so 1/2, then 2/3, then 3/4. Okay, so then we have 9/10 that go up there, and then we have 11/12. That's the correct order from smallest to largest. Well done if you got that right. Okay, so here we have some fractions. You have a fraction rule to help you. Now we need to order these fractions from smallest to largest, and our number line shows 0 to 1. What's the first thing we need to do? The first thing we need to do is to highlight where 1/2 would be. 1/2 would be halfway between 0 and 1, so 1/2 goes there. Because using my fraction rule, I'd find 1/2. So 1/2 is there. Okay, let's look at our first. Let's look at what we can. So we have 1/2 here. So 1/5, which is here, is smaller than 1/2. So let's put 1/5 there. 1/4, 1/4 is halfway between 0 and 1/2. So I'm going to put that here. 1/3, which is here, is actually less than 1/2, but more than 1/4. So that would go here. 1/6 is less than 1/5. We compare them. That would go there. And 1/10, as you can see, is less than 1/6. So that's likely to go there. And that's how you would use your fraction rule to help you order fractions, by comparing the size of the fraction with each other. Danny is back. Now, Danny had a horrendous week with fractions last week, as you all know. Let's see how he is going to do this week. So what's he saying today? So Danny the dog says that when ordering unit fractions, the denominator is not important. Do you agree with Danny? And give reasons for your answer. So pause the video and write a full sentence. I agree with Danny dog because, or I disagree with Danny dog because. And unfortunately for poor Danny dog, he is wrong, because when you have the unit fractions, we all know the numerator is the same. The numerator is always 1. So actually the denominator is crucial for us to work out whether it's a big fraction or a small fraction compared to other fractions. So sorry, Danny, you haven't had the greatest start to the week. Oh dear. Now the time has come for you to complete your tasks. Please don't forget to take a picture of your task and email it to us at year3@grange.harrow.sch.uk. And you can find your task on the Grange website under the online learning tab, year 3, and you will come up with these 2 documents. You have the fraction strips which you need to use to help you. They're here. And your tasks are here. So task 1 will ask you to look at the fraction strips and then order them from the smallest to the largest. You need to write down which fraction the strip is showing as well. And then you need to fill in the sentence with the missing words. And you can use your fraction rule for this, is to place these fractions on this number line 0 to 1. And task 2, James says when the denominators are the same, the larger the numerator, the smaller the fraction. Is he correct or is he incorrect? And what I want you to do is use your fraction strips to prove your answer. To give me an example when you tell me what the answer is. Task 3 is saying write at least 4 fractions that are suitable for the following categories. So 4 fractions that are less than a half, 4 fractions which are equal to a half, think back to equivalent fractions, and 4 fractions that are greater than a half. And then following on from that, it's asking you which fraction from these 4 options should go at point A. So have a look at these 4 fractions. Which one do you think will go at point A? And finally, task 4. Mrs. Wright has a tray of 24 eggs. She's making 2 cakes. Her chocolate cake will use 1/3 of the eggs. Her carrot cake will use 1/4 of the eggs. Which cake will use the most eggs, and how many eggs will she have left over at the end after she's made both those cakes? And what I want you to do is remember how we worked out fractions of amounts right at the beginning of our lesson. Going back to the smartboard now. Fancy a task? Challenge? Here it is. True or false? 1/10 is less than 1/6. True or false? Okay, that's it for today. I can't wait to see the work you will send in, and I will speak to you tomorrow and have some more fraction fun for you. Take care. Bye.